Hi guys, my name is James, and for today's presentation about my persuasive presentation, I wanted to talk about something that I cared a lot about and that I reflect myself. When I was in college in 2015 in Maine, I had an education teacher who told me that there was two types of education. The first type was the formal education that everybody follows, for example, colleges, the education that you get from academies or universities or any other facility. Pretty much the education put us on by the government or other major institution. The second one was a very interesting education. It's called a social education. It's pretty much an education that you get from yourself by activating your senses. So, for example, if you go to the grocery store and you see something different, a different food, a different type of food that you haven't experienced in your life, you will be less ignorant about it and you will learn more about this type of food. It could be anything. I'm taking an example of the type of food because it can be anywhere in the world. It could be about any subject. It's just to summarize, it's a type of education that we experience on our own. So during this presentation, I would like to talk about why you should go live somewhere else in your life. For example, I have been living in the United States. I'm from Canada, and I lived in France because I can speak French. And these types of experience have opened my horizons and made me learn a lot about myself. And sometimes it was a struggle, so it is good to struggle so you can learn about yourself. So I think I wanted to talk about the testing about your limits, first of all. Second of all, I will talk about foster your independence. Second of all, just like I mentioned it, open your horizons. And last, learn to be alone. First of all, test your limits. It's always hard to travel somewhere that you have never been, that you don't know much about, that you probably don't speak the language, that have different types of religions and culture. It can be really scary. And this is where you understand that you have certain types of limit. You don't necessarily know about those limits when you live at home because it is your language, it is your family, your friends, everybody is there and is living the same experience as you, the life experience. But when you go somewhere where you're by yourself, you need to foster. So you need to find a new place to live. Where are you going to find a place to live? You don't know anyone. This can be pretty intimidating. So there's a few types of things that I recommend to do. First of all is to always remain calm and look into yourself. The answers are always into yourself because obviously when you're going to get to that new place, yourself is pretty much your best friend. You're going to have to look deeply into yourself to find what type of things that you need to do. For example, to find a new place to live, find some new friends, find a new passion, maybe a new hobby that is represented in the new country that you will be or the new city. This is all small things that you need to take in consideration before leaving to understand that if you have a profile that will be able to make it to a new country or somewhere totally new that you have never been. Third, it opens your horizons. Just like I said, it activates your senses. So when you open your horizons, you get into a new country, for example, a European country like France, but does not speak the same language. So you need to adapt to this. Second of all, they might not eat the same food as you, so you need to adapt to some new taste. They might not process their opinions the same way as Americans, for example. All these small details needs to be understood by yourself when you're about to live abroad. It does open your horizons and give you really good experience. Lastly, you learn to be alone. Like I said, when you get to a new place, it's really important to trust yourself, to know exactly what you need, exactly what you want, because it's not about being picky, but it's just about doing the right choices. And when you're in a country that you have not been, it's important to really reflect on what you want to understand the right choices that you're about to make. So, for example, I was going to France for a good amount of 3 years, and I had no friends. No one came and saw me, so I really had to dig deep inside me and see what I wanted to see as a friend. What I wanted to look for as a friend, and not only friends, but it could have been institutions or food or what do I like here in the foods? Do I like this type of meat or this type of vegetables? It's all different because it's another continent, it's another country, so everything is really different. And one more thing that I would like to say is that living abroad is really difficult. I have all these types of emotions that are coming back because it is definitely difficult, but I did not regret it one time after it was done. Has been hard moments over there where you only rely on yourself, you have nothing else to do but just to talk to yourself, and it sounds really harsh when you say it like that, when I present it in front of the camera like that, but all these beautiful moments that I've lived in France, for example, or other countries have been breathtaking, and I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I would have not made those experiences abroad. So I really hope that you take risks in life, because that's what life is about, taking risks and learn from them, and going and live abroad is definitely an option for that. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope you understood the risks and that it is important to live at the moment and not look back.